Hey you guys, Peek out here in Singapore, and I have another wonderful young lady to come and talk to you a little bit about perseverance and finding your own path, kind of making the life that you want, creating the kind of quality of life that you want. And her name is Danielle, and I actually met her through a group called American Real Live Tribe, run by Roger Brooks. And one thing led to another. We started talking and we really hit it off. I really love who she is and how she speaks. She is to three lovely boys, and she's just a hard worker. So I'm really excited to introduce you. This is Danielle. Hey, girl.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I didn't know how to hold the phone.
No, it's
Sideways.
all good.
Oh,
This is perfect. So how's your day been so far? It's just starting out for you, right?
it is, and it's raining ice here, so that's fun.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, we're going to hear my dogs in the background because
No,
I
it's all
can't
good.
decide.
Hey, Devin. So I'm really excited to actually introduce you because you are fighting to make sure that you have the kind of life that your boys and you can really enjoy each other and really like not run around each other, managing schedules, but actually enjoy each other, really live your lives. And I was wondering, when did you decide that enough was enough? You needed to kind of, forge it out for yourself.
Well, you know what? I got divorced without a job,
Okay.
and I knew that when my youngest went to school full time, I would have to start over.
Yeah.
And so 2 years ago, this January, was I went on this program, 30 Days to Healthy Living, with my girlfriend
Okay.
that I grew up with. And I was living that lifestyle of clean eating and healthier choices. And I was bringing so many people to her and watching her be able to enjoy her child and stay home and own her own schedule. So I
Yes.
decided last year, January, 1 year ago, that I would start. I would go slow, and then he would go to school in September, and then I would hit the ground running. So
Okay.
that's what I did. I joined last January 2018, and I decided that I would do the warm market first. So I
Okay.
did a lot of family and friends because they could understand my
Yes.
schedule and all that, and I could bring the kids.
Right.
So I did that. And then he went to school in September, and that's when I introduced myself to what we would call the cold market. Strangers, people
Right.
that have now become friends, but that I have interacted with, thankfully, because I have all day while the kids are at school.
Exactly. So what made you choose Arbonne? Was it this program that you and your girlfriend started off with and you saw results and that's how you decided this was the right thing for you?
Yeah, so I had some injuries from a job when I was a corrections officer,
Okay.
and I was getting 10 migraines a month.
Oh,
And I tried every treatment and every medication, and nothing ever seemed to work.
okay.
So I literally to the point where I was considering getting my ear pierced because people said there might be
Like
success.
an acupuncture kind
Did
of thing, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but then I did this 30 days to clean eating, and I dropped migraines drastically right away. And
Awesome.
just from changing my meals, I found out that I have a lot of issues with dairy
Okay.
and a small issue with gluten. So I'm sensitive to gluten. I have to overeat it. But these were
Oh.
things that were inflaming my system and making my
Mhm.
injuries worse
Yeah.
and making my migraines so frequently. And it was that easy.
Okay.
No more stick me with needles, no more popping, whatever drug they threw at me.
Right.
I just had to watch what I ate.
And I
And I
love
lost
that
a lot
because
of
it makes
weight.
it so much easier, so many less chemicals, and you can actually like,
Yes.
kind of regain control of your time. And there's nothing worse than a migraine because nothing works. You can't take in any information, any sensory, anything. Yeah, it's the worst. So this worked for you. It gave you the opportunity to, like you said, you worked your warm market, which is everybody you know, everybody who already knows who you are, and how you do business. And then eventually you moved to the co-market. And basically, this is network marketing. So how difficult was it? What was that transition like for you to move from the warm market to a co-market?
It was difficult. I I'm a little tougher than most,
Okay.
being obviously a corrections
The corrections
officer.
officer, yeah.
So I was almost trained to stuff vulnerability and
Okay.
weakness. And
Okay.
now I have to share that with the world to show who I truly am. And it was a struggle. It was a struggle because I had transformed into, my training and was still carrying it and didn't even realize it.
Okay.
Obviously, the children warmed my heart and, lessened that. But getting in front of people on social media and sharing this, just things I normally wouldn't tell anybody unless
Right.
you were close to me was difficult, but it's been freeing. And I did a lot of self-work, and that's, where I met you.
Yeah,
And so,
exactly. So that's what I mentioned earlier. We met through American Reel. So for those of you who don't know, the premise behind American Reel and the Live Tribe is you get on live for a full 60 seconds. And it's a lot longer than you would think if you're not already comfortable with the camera.
it is.
But you can also say a lot. Like it's a long period of time. It also goes by fast once you get used to it, but you can actually say a lot, and it makes you really focus on what you're saying, how you're saying. It's almost like perfecting your elevator pitch. So we started off from there. I got to know you. I saw you around, basically. I saw you around the page, basically. And finally, we got to talking, and I learned a little bit more about, where you come from, what you've been doing, how you've gotten to where you are. And I got to say, your work ethic is something else. The fact that you put in the work every day, yes, you have 3 boys, you have dogs, you still put in the work, you still manage everything. They still get to, they still get good time with you and everything, but you still put in the work. So you are hitting hurdles, milestones, moving product. You're doing what you need to do, which most people would be very happy to start off with the warm market, move to the cold market, not do so well, and quit. So I'm actually very impressed that you're
It's
continually
true.
just putting in the work.
Yeah. And I love that part about it. So not working for that many years had taken my life to a turn of now relying on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a fine situation, but I will tell you that I am more happy providing for myself
Yes.
and doing it all so that I have every decision to make for myself at any time.
Right.
So I like being, if not on top, equal.
Right. So I got to say this. You obviously, as an entrepreneur owning your own business, um, there would have been a lot of lessons, things you had to learn about yourself along the way. And you already mentioned that you really didn't like sharing all that much on social media, but you're doing it anyway. I mean, you have a private group where you're sharing a lot of information with your team, and you're teaching them, and you're inviting people to teach them as well. So I'd say, from what you've mentioned, you've actually opened up a whole lot. Was there anything else that was like major that you felt like you didn't expect to learn maybe on this journey?
I absolutely didn't think that I was as negative as I was. I don't even know if I ever realized the negativity in my life until I had to change my energy and shift my focus for the job to work for me.
Okay.
And I did a lot of self work. And in that, I changed to a more positive lifestyle
Okay.
and a more, if you believe it, it will happen. And
Okay.
ever since I've embraced that, everything has just changed. Everything.
So
It's
I know from
just
personal experience when you say, all of that work, a lot of that is retuning whatever it is that you're telling yourself inside of your head. How hard was that though? I mean, people say, yeah, you
4
just change from
years.
negative to positive. No, it's not that simple. It's a great concept, but it's not that simple.
Lucky for me, I went into Live Tribe and I
Okay.
joined as many private groups as I could, surrounding
Okay.
myself with not just women in Arbonne, but
Okay.
women that were starting businesses and stepping out of their fears and, letting go of vulnerability and just throwing it out there and seeing what happens. And by
Yeah.
surrounding myself with those types of people, and it's not just women, there are men. Um, it's easy to relate to women, but I will tell you that that is what honed it in for me. All these
Okay.
women offering just their time. I mean, I have taken an hour phone call with similar women like you, and it
Okay.
has been life changing when I hang up. You can only teach yourself so much until somebody else says it, then the light bulb goes off. And
Right.
then
Right.
that's when the change is made. And that is what I have enjoyed. I would have never known these things about myself, and I would have never truly been happy, I don't think. I mean, I literally am living exactly how I want every day.
I mean, I'm really grateful that you would even be so candid to tell us all of those things, because not many people really want to admit that, yeah, it was difficult. I had to change my circle. I had to like level up. I had to surround myself with people who seem to have what I wanted to have so I could really speak to them and see what they know that I don't know. Because I mean, you don't know what you don't know until you kind of maybe hear it, and then suddenly memes make sense, or whatever the case may be. So,
It's true.
yeah. So when you tried out, I mean, you joined groups, you spoke to people, you took yourself out of your element to really kind of learn. And it wasn't just reading books of self-help, you were talking to people. And I feel like that kind of fast forwards some of those lessons because you're speaking, you get to share a little bit and they get to share a little bit, and then you kind of like compare notes almost. Do you feel like that's the easiest way for other people looking to kind of change mindset? Would it be better to speak to people, or, I mean, obviously everyone's a little bit different, but how did you feel about
I
that?
agree. I will say that I'm not a reader.
Okay.
I have literally sat down and read books, and I just don't absorb anything, and that's okay. That's just
Okay.
not me. So I listen to audible.com, and listening to the books and taking them in differently, I
Yeah.
knew that outside speaking language was what was going to work for me. And so that was where I opened up. Live Tribe helped me with the minute. And
Yeah.
then Live Tribe is not just helping you get comfortable with speaking, it's also about connecting.
Yes.
And I remember when I started this business being jealous of my girlfriend, like, how do you know somebody all over, that side of the world? How do you know that? That wasn't an option for me. I didn't think that that was a possibility in my life. And
And
here
now
we
look at
are.
us.
You're in Singapore, I'm in Buffalo, New York, and
Yeah.
I love talking to you. So your phone calls are better than some of the ones I take on a daily basis.
Oh, thanks. That really
So,
means a lot to me.
it's crazy, and I would not have had this, and it was something I craved. So I will tell you that I have just decided to go back to my childhood, and everything that comes in my mind that I want to do, I make it happen. I
Yeah.
wanted to learn Polish, and my grandmother didn't teach us Polish, and now I take Polish lessons. Like, that's the kind of transformation I did this year, and it wasn't daunting because it was giving myself everything I ever wanted.
And isn't that so freeing though? Like, you have the time, and if you really want it, you will find a way to make it happen because we already know, like, you're building the business from scratch. You're doing it every day, and then you're uplifting people along the way. So your team, they already know that you've got their backs and you want to share their stories because they're succeeding at what you're teaching them, and you're succeeding at what you learned before, and you're just sharing. It's like you're paying it forward every step of the way, and more people need to understand that. People are real quick to turn up their noses about network marketing, saying, "Oh yeah, only some people can get it done." No, it's not that way. That's not what it is. You got to show up every day. Yeah,
It's
maybe
not
you have a
sales.
couple.
It's
I'm sorry.
self-work. It's not sales for me. It's self-work.
Okay.
I grow every minute. I'm an introvert that has to smile at people in line and strike up conversation. I had blinders on. I didn't see anybody head down before. And so
Okay.
that's just growth. And so when I took this opportunity, I just figured I would just wing it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm enjoying the growth. And I think that helps because I'm not coming off as salesy, because I really, obviously, I want to help you. It's rewarding. I want to change your life. I believe in these products. But even if I just make friends out of it, it's a benefit for me.
And honestly, I think that's the best approach when it comes to building a community, when it comes to networking. I was talking to Devin Lawrence earlier today, and he was like, I just go out there and hit the pavement and do it guerrilla style and, talk to people and get to know people. And it's not that I went to talk to them because I wanted something. I just genuinely wanted to get to know them. And that's where it starts. Like, for you to be that humble, that simple, you're just talking to people. And that's something we've missed a lot. For you to mention that, you enjoy my conversations, that means a lot to me because that's something all of us are missing, that connection, that feeling like someone's actually listening, not for the hell of listening, but I'm listening. I want to know, and I'm going to ask you questions, and you're going to ask me questions, and we get to exchange some ideas here, and that's beautiful. I love that. That's my
I think
favorite part of my day.
I think that's the difference, is finding my people. So that's what I'm
Yes.
looking for. So I had a meeting last night that was business,
Okay.
and it should have been short, and we talked, and this girl, like, we clicked. Like, I should know her. We should
Okay.
hang out. Like, it was just immediate, and I was like enjoying myself. That time got away from me. I was late to the next thing. But those are the things I'm looking for. And, hopefully she wants to get healthy one day. If she doesn't, I definitely wouldn't mind meeting for coffee again, because it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my people. That's it.
I love that. I really love that. And I love that it can be that simple for you to get the quality of life that you're dreaming. You're already here talking about, I went back to my childhood and I'm looking for the things that I wanted to do back then. And I'm doing it for myself. Like, yeah, absolutely. Why not? If I want to go to the beach once a week, I could find the time to go to the beach once a week. I could find the time to stand outside and like, jump rope with my kid or whatever. I mean, whatever silly little thing. Be kids. And that's one thing I'm really grateful for, to be a mom.
Yes.
I get to see the world through their eyes again. All the things I forgot, all the things that were knocked out of me, I get to see again, and I get to do with them. Like, how cool
It's
is
amazing.
that?
It is. I do. I feel like parenting is just life changing. It just immediately, and I mean immediately, something
Yeah,
changes in you, and that has also been, a game changer for me, and that I think helped me get to where I am now. I also have, my oldest son has autism. My youngest son has congenital heart disease. So these are another reason why health and helping people with their health and finding a company that's trying to help with learning disabilities and autoimmune disorders that may cause those things. These are
yeah,
all things important to me anyways.
yeah,
So it's just been great to stumble upon work that is rewarding and that I'm passionate about and that I don't put pressure on myself. I mean, all I care about is paying my mortgage. Nothing else really matters to me, As long as we have this house, we're good.
and I like that because you said, once you become a mom, yeah, absolutely. It's almost like you're born again. You get to see life all over again and start over again. You get to question all of your beliefs and kind of figure it out for yourself all over again. But with your kids, yes, health is more than just whatever situations that they have going on, how they learn or how they relate to other people. That's all one portion of it, but their home environment really means everything. And for you to be a healthy, happy mom means everything. So
Yeah.
for me, the hard part about being an entrepreneur was putting myself first and taking care of myself so that I could be fully present for my kid when she's home. And I know that's something that you love and treasure right now because of the lifestyle you're leading at the moment.
I do. And I include my kids so much to the point where this year for school, they didn't want Spider-Man water bottles. They wanted Arbonne water bottles.
Hey,
But they're inspired too. And I feel like the life lessons I'm learning are the lessons that I can instill in them. And if they have that jump start on life, like the sky's the limit for them. They don't even have to go
yeah.
through. They can
Right. They
just,
don't have to live through the things that you've lived through to get to where you are now. They can kind of step up a little bit, like, what is that?
it's
Like a
natural.
platform to, yeah, it's a little bit easier. They've got like a step up a little bit so they can start off a little bit further on than most people will. So that's
Yeah, I
awesome.
think that's part of parenting, wanting, even if you had the greatest childhood, there were still things that, struck you, and you want to make sure that that doesn't happen with your child, and you want to do something differently that, you might question, did it mold me into who I am and all those things? But you have this idea of your ideal childhood, and now you want to, transform that for your child. And
Exactly.
that's what you strive for.
Exactly. So out of everything that you've got going on, I know you're on Instagram, I know you're on Facebook, which is where are you more likely to be found? On Facebook or Instagram?
On Facebook right now.
On Facebook.
I would say
Okay.
on Facebook. Well, obviously now Instagram. I am on Instagram daily, but I have a lot more interaction on Facebook.
Okay.
I share a lot more stories of my people on
Okay.
Facebook because a lot of my clients are from all ages, and Facebook is just new to some of them. And
Right.
Instagram, honestly, is new to me. I was a mother, and Facebook was new to me, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now Instagram is, I'm getting there, but it's newer to me.
But you're doing fine. I mean, I can tell that you haven't been on here before. So you speak very well. You sound very self-confident. And I don't know. I love everything about you. The fact that you've been through a rough past, but you're still here and smiling and trying every day, that means something to me. There are so many people that would be stuck in that place where, oh, yeah, but I was hurt and I was in pain and I was abused. Like some people are just stuck there. And I'm glad you were able to find your way out and build from there and keep going forward.
And that's the positivity change. You could either, I don't mean to be harsh, but boo-hoo me, or use what has happened to you and rise above it. And I think
Absolutely.
that's more powerful because even though things have happened to you, it doesn't affect you the rest of your life. You're stronger than that. You're not going to
Exactly.
let anything after that day be more than you it should have been. I was just
I've
wow,
learned very quickly that a lot of the limitations I thought were put on me were put on me by me. I did that.
Yeah,
I created those limitations. I told myself I couldn't when I should have told myself I
absolutely. And
could.
then we allow judgment to hold us
Hmm.
back. And I've always been a firm believer, like, I only live once. You know, I did skydiving when I was a kid. It scared the crap out of me, but I wanted to know what it
Wow.
was like. You know,
Yeah.
I did it. I was that person. I would be adventurous. Now that I have kids, forget about it. I ain't doing nothing. But I did it when I had the chance. And
Yeah.
I've always been a risk taker. I've always, you know, been comfortable taking on a position, a career, and then starting over if I have to. Like, it's not the end all, no matter where I am, even today. Like, I just continue to grow, and that's all I
Good.
strive to do.
I'm excited. So you guys, you can find her on Instagram or on Facebook. If you look up her name is Danielle. And how do I pronounce the middle name?
It's Danielle Ufland-Westfield.
Ufland-Westfield. Okay. So it's all one word, no spaces, no hyphens. Danielle Ufland-Westfield, and Facebook or Instagram. And she is out to help you find your way, whether it's a healthier lifestyle, healthier diet. She just wants to make sure that whatever she's learned, she's able to pass on to the next person so that they have an opportunity to change their lives. You just got to decide if you want to take it or not. So please, please
Absolutely.
contact her, have a conversation, see if you're part of her tribe or not, because she definitely has a wealth of information. I mean, corrections officer, how many people can say they've done that before? And you've seen so many things because of that job. You've dealt with so many types of people because of that job. So I would definitely recommend that you go reach out to this young lady and speak to her one time, and see if you can connect. See if you can connect, because she has a lot to teach. I'm really, really excited about this for you.
Me too. Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate this.
welcome.
It's been amazing.
Anytime. Anything coming up that we should be aware of that we should maybe be looking out for?
All I would say is that on Facebook, if you go over there and you find me on Facebook, I do have a private group for positivity. It has nothing to do with my Arbonne. It's about uplifting men and women. I have an
Yeah,
equal amount of people in there, and it's daily affirmations and weekly guests that, like, you know, is going to highlight next week. The guests are on there. They're telling you, you know, what they have to offer and sharing just a little bit of it with you so you can see the possibilities that are out there for you. All in one
exactly.
place.
And I've seen, yeah, it's weekly, almost like master classes with these people, and each of them has their own different niche, what they're really good at, what they're trying to teach people. So you are doing everybody a great service by having a group of like a platform for a group of people, and then introducing them to new ideas and new thoughts and new other ways of, you know, being able to uplift themselves and do for themselves, rather than, you know, staying where you are and then complaining about it. So I love that. I really am grateful that you've even included me there. So I really
I I
I'm
think
excited
another
about it.
reward I get is supporting other people. So
Yeah,
every time I do a story with somebody, I'm more than willing to plug what they do and share what their thing is. And that's in the positivity group that originally was just a gift for my clients. They gave me a chance
yeah,
on my year. And now it's turned into something even bigger and greater than I could have imagined. So I definitely love it. I'm excited with the growth there, and I don't know, helping people get healthy and positive is fulfilling for sure.
it is very fulfilling. And you know what? Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to me here. Thank you for inviting me to the group. I'm actually excited to present next week. If you haven't already, please follow her, Danielle Ufland-Westfield, and that's Facebook or Instagram. And I will post this on Facebook as well as YouTube, so people can find you as well. So the more I do these, the more I get to share who everybody is, what they're good at, what their expertise is, and how they're trying to make their own small difference in the world. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No,
You
it's
there? I
interrupting
think we
us.
got stuck.
No, my
I got you. I see you.
somebody keeps calling me and it's interrupting, and I'm sorry. I appreciate you. I thank you,
No,
and
not
I'm
at all.
excited. I'll probably be the first one to go back and watch. That's for sure.
Oh, I appreciate it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you very shortly.
Yeah, I'll see you Sunday. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.